to explain things, articulate something and explain it. The closest terms that we really need to focus on when we define Sharia are the two terms that both appear in the Quran, Sharia or Shir'a. These have also very similar type meaning, which actually in the light of the root meaning the path to Allah, bayan al-shay, the path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or the clarity of the path leading to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The technical or Sharia definition is what Allah legislated or made as a Sharia, we'll come to the term again, for His servants, those who believe in Him, cannot impose it on others. لعباده, those in that context who accepted to be Muslims of the deen, and deen is not just religion, as we all know, it's a way of living, a total way of living, and commanded His servants, whether in the matter of belief, the matter of worship, the matter of moral and ethical conduct, as well as a few. The Sharia is not concerned about details. This is very seldom. Just a few ahkam, that's rulings that are constant, that cannot really change with the time, place, or circumstances. Inshallah, I'll give an example a little later. It is in that sense that Sharia, not just in the literal sense, Sharia in the Islamic sense, meaning the Sharia of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not Sharia of this or that. Okay, Shari'at Allah. This is the Sharia of Allah. It is in that meaning then that the mission, the core of the message of all of the prophets throughout history was also part of that Sharia. Many people think Sharia is something in Islam. Islam is so this, that, and they have this Sharia. All prophets taught Sharia. And the evidence, you see, they take the Islamic terminology and then they give it their own understanding rather than the understanding in the sources from which they took the term. Sharia is not really an English term. It's an Arabic, Islamic term in the Book of Allah. So if one were to objectively and honestly, even if a person is not a Muslim, but had the sense of honor and objectivity, intellectual honesty, you don't explain it your own way, which is totally different when the source from which you took the term, explain what it is. So let's see what the Quran says about this Sharia or Shara, the verb made or gave the Sharia. In Surah Ash-Shura, I think it's the 13th ayah, in the translation of meaning, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addressing the believers, Muslims. This is Allah shara'a lakum, from Sharia, of the deen, the way of living, that which He has ordained or commanded to Noah, Prophet Noah. And what we commanded upon Abraham, Moses, and Jesus. وَمَا أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ also. It's first Noah, and then what we revealed to you, meaning O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and what we commanded upon Abraham, Moses, and Jesus. Just a side remark. You know, the Quran speaks about ulul azm min ar-rusul. Prophets or messengers, actually, messengers, it's more accurate term in that context. Messengers of Allah who are topmost. Ulul azm, actually, those messengers with great fortitude. And some people may think that it was Muslim scholars who invented their number or their identity. You see, when you read in jurisprudence book and so on, they tell you that these five are Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All of them are mentioned in that surah. In fact, it is based on this ayah and a similar ayah also, that these five has been mentioned. So it is reasonable to conclude, since these have been specified, that these are the greatest five messengers in human history. And when the ayah speak about Sharia given to these prophets, or these messengers of Allah, because not every prophet is a messenger, but every messenger is by definition a prophet. This, if it applies to those greatest of the great, because messenger is a higher degree than prophet. So the person can be Nabiya, Rasul and Nabiya, could be prophet, messenger, but you cannot say that every prophet can be called messenger. And then you get the topmost, it follows logically that it is not only that Sharia was revealed to these five great, it is by implication, Sharia was the message of all, even the prophets, not messenger, even minor prophets, they had the same essence and core of Sharia of Allah revealed to them. Now this is all we know, and might have heard that before. But you know, sometimes there is a silver lining when people attack Islam. Because it motivates us maybe to find some additional angles or thoughts that could really be very powerful in making your argument. You may not be able to do it as effectively if it is not attack. So let them attack. Not that we agree with this. Let them attack, because sometimes it urges us to look very closely and make a more cogent and more powerful argument. Given the fact that the title of the report is very provocative, Sharia, the threat to America, and of course Western civilization, and maybe by implication the world. If indeed Sharia is a threat to America, and Sharia is the faith of all of the prophets and messengers, and Sharia particularly is the faith and the core teaching of Ibrahim, Musa, and Isa, then all of these religions are a threat to America, to the West and the world, because it's the same. And if it is the same, and you say, you don't just pick and choose and say Islam alone, the Sharia, because the Quran says that, because they quote, like, again, from our sources. If you quote from our sources, then you abide also by the usage of these terms, which means Judaism is a threat to America, Christianity is a threat to America, and any monotheistic faith based on what Ibrahim and Nuh alayhi salam taught is also a threat to America. But this is the kind of, again, lack of intellectual honesty. It's not just a matter of error. There is deliberation here. Deliberate distortion, picking and choose, cherry picking what suits an agenda of promotion of hate and fear of Islam and Muslims. Sometimes there is a great deal of mix-up, even in the mind of some Muslims, between the understanding of Sharia and fiqh, or jurisprudence. Sharia and what it contains, in essence, of stable principles, unchangeable values, moral and ethical values, does not change. These values and those high objectives do not change with the time, place, or circumstances. And between jurisprudence or fiqh, which actually refers to the interpretation of the specific rulings, whether it is a broad or general ruling or a specific tailor-made fatwa or legal opinion, juridical opinion dealing with a particular unique type of situation. So whether it's a hukm, general ruling, or a specific fatwa in that sense, from the various detailed evidence from it. So in that sense, then, the differences, and when we say differences, we're not saying that Sharia and fiqh, jurisprudence, are totally separate things, because they are interacting with one another. But there are some technical major differences here, is that Sharia is like the ultimate purpose. And of course, the ultimate purpose of Sharia in turn is pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and living the way He ordained us. Whereas fiqh or jurisprudence, or application also, because there is understanding and there is application. Okay? The understanding could be a matter of interpretation on the part of the faqih or the scholar. Application is not always by the faqih. There could be another party involved in application. So the faqih interpret a particular ruling based on the principles and rules of Sharia, so it becomes part of the law. But whoever apply that law, like criminal punishment, can make an error also, because sometimes it's applied by political authorities. And sometimes political authorities also have their own agenda. There are human beings. In some cases,